This is Brad A. Milford with the Unlimited Business Wisdom Podcast, where business owners making mid five figures, six figures, or even more share their wisdom. It's 6 questions in 9 minutes because transforming possibility leads to reality. So let's get to it. Question number 1. In a few sentences, Annabelle, tell me who you are and what you do.
Hi there, Brad. My name's Annabelle Beckwith. For the last 20 years, I've been a consultant, coach and trainer, working with business leaders and entrepreneurs to develop really productive teams and profitable businesses by focusing on their own practical and strategic leadership skills.
Love it. And you have that phenomenal accent.
Thank you.
Question number 2. Annabelle, what's the best thing about being in business?
The best thing for me about what I do is helping people, and I know it sounds cheesy, but it really is, helping people achieve their potential. For me, there's nothing like that moment where somebody who's come to you with a problem or an issue going, I can't see my way through this, and my team and I will work with them, and they leave thinking, I can and I will. That moment when they suddenly think, aha, I've got it now, I've got it, for me is absolutely priceless. That's singularly the best thing about what I do, I think.
I love it. I love it. The aha moment, I finally got it.
Every time. Yeah.
Touches our hearts, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, it does.
Excellent. Question number 3. Even during this time, during this COVID time and these crazy unprecedented times, we still hear from lots of business owners. They're getting so much business that sometimes the chaos is causing overwhelm. Tell me your thoughts on that, Annabelle.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I think we've all fallen into that trap at some point or another. And for me, one of the key things is to be really clear about my own goals, my own personal goals and business goals, and to remain focused on those. So when opportunities in inverted commas come up, to sense check those and think, are they taking me closer to my goal? Or are they distractions? And also to learn to say no to the things that are distractions, because as I've learned in my cost in the past, if we keep saying yes to other people's things, de facto, we are saying no to something important of our own. And that can be a difficult thing because we want to be helpful. We want to take on the work. We don't want to turn work away. And yet sometimes the right thing to do is to say no in the interests of continuing to move in a really focused and direct manner towards our own aspirations.
I couldn't love that anymore. What to do and what not to do. Question number 4. What other successful business owners like yourself, Annabelle, should be on the Unlimited Wisdom podcast?
There's two people who sprang to mind immediately, both very good friends of mine. One is a lady called Kirsty Innes, who is a strategic marketing expert. She's based here in Scotland and she is absolutely phenomenal. I have never seen anybody being as thorough as she is around the whole area of marketing. A lot of her work is offline. Again, a lot of it is online as well, but she's absolutely fantastic. And she's got a really interesting approach to blending your external brand and your internal culture, which are actually two sides of the same coin, if you will. And the other one is another very good friend of mine called Susan Granfield, who is, her specialism is mindful leadership. So at the moment, her focus is very much on mindfulness and resilience and maintaining the presence of mind to make quality decisions, which, let's face it, in our current climate with everything that's going on is absolutely critical. So those are two people who would spring to mind immediately because they're fantastic at what they do and they get great results for their clients.
Phenomenal. Thank you very much for that. Question number 5. Let's get to the crux of this.
Yeah.
What piece of wisdom, Annabelle, would you share with other business owners?
So one of my key things that I focus on is leadership development, developing leadership capability. And one thing that entrepreneurs and business owners find difficult often is delegating effectively. And yet it's something that leaders must learn to do. If you're not delegating, you're not managing effectively, and you risk burnout yourself, but you will become a bottleneck in your business. You will become a blocker to your own business growth. So there's a few things to consider when you are delegating to make sure you get it right first time. You're not in one of these scenarios where you send somebody off to do something and they come back with something and you think, what the heck's that? That's not what I asked for. Avoid that scenario. So The first thing is to use your emotional intelligence and think, what is holding you back from delegating? Because we tell ourselves all sorts of nonsense. Be quicker if I did it myself. I do it better than anybody else. We tell ourselves all sorts of things, and we really need to get out of our own way and learn to do this. So sense check what you're saying to yourself. The next thing, obviously, is choosing the right task to delegate and delegating to the right person. So not just picking any old randomer who happens to walk across your field of vision at that time. Does this person have the skills, the capability to actually undertake that task, or do you have time to train them to do it? Both really important questions. Obviously, I'm talking about reasonably complex tasks here. I'm not talking about, changing a printer cartridge or something, which takes a matter of moments. The third thing, and this is where it often starts to fall apart, is giving really clear instructions. Often we'll give instructions that we think are clear, but they're not. So what exactly do you want in terms of the outputs and the results? Is there a specific process you want them to follow? If not, perhaps they can do their own thing. What are the timescales? Avoid ambiguous language like, oh, as soon as possible, which could be anything from drop everything and do it now to, next week, when you have a few minutes, when exactly. Be as specific as possible. Make sure there's no margin for error. Having done that, check they get it, check for understanding, which might be as simple as saying to them, okay, so how are you going to approach this? I've given you this task. Talk me through how you're going to tackle this. And it should become apparent in their answer whether they really got what you're asking them to do or not. Gain their commitment. Now, there is something about the word commit. Quite often people will go, yeah, without recognizing how important it is to actually complete the task properly. Sometimes they'll go, I'll try. And, in the words of Yoda, there is no try. There is only do or do not do. But it's can you commit to doing that? And make sure you do get that commitment. Also, make sure that they know from you that if there's the faintest chance that they might not be able to meet that commitment, that they let you know at the earliest opportunity. They don't spring on you at the last minute. Oh, sorry, I didn't get that thing done because X, Y, Z. They're flagging up these things as soon as they can. And of course, the final thing is make sure in this conversation that you're offering the support that they might need from you to help them go through this task.
That was amazing.
It's a quick canter through. I felt like I was rushing it a bit, but I know we did 9 minutes.
And so well done. And honestly, I just want to share with you, I'm moving through the space myself. So a lot of the points were resonating with me, and I'm super grateful for you for sharing those today and with the audience. That's fantastic. Let's switch gears real quick. Mm-hmm. Let's do something fun. What's the most fun vacation you ever had, Annabelle?
Do you know what? I've been very fortunate to be able to travel a lot throughout my life. So I've had some amazing adventures, like sleeping in a treehouse in Africa and going to visit friends in India and going to Australia and everything. But probably one of the most fun holidays was, maybe it's even predictable, was going to Disneyland Paris with my 2 kids, who at the time were 19 and 17. We had such fun. I think that has to be. Everyone's a kid at Disneyland, aren't they? It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. It was wonderful.
I went for the first time about 3 years ago. And so I totally relate. Well, Annabelle, I want to thank you for coming on the show. What's the website so people can find you after this? Because I know they're going to want to look you up. So what's the easiest way for them to get in touch with you?
So the easiest, there's actually 2 to muddy the waters. One is my business website, which is www.yara-journeys, YARA-journeys.com. So that's my business website. I've got a book coming out on the 7th of July called Get Your P's in a Row, 5 Key Factors to Propel Your Business Forward. And my website, which will be at annabellebeckwith.com, isn't quite ready yet. So in the meantime, you might want to connect with me on Facebook, where I have a group called Get Your P's in a Row. That's where I'm talking about the book. I'm sharing information, and that's the best place to connect for now. Or indeed on LinkedIn, where I am simply Annabelle Beckwith. Any of the above, really.
Excellent, and congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
This is Brad A. Milford with the Unlimited Business Wisdom Podcast, where business owners making mid-5 figures, 6 figures, or even more share their wisdom globally. Thanks for joining us.